Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is just about 1 o'clock. You are tuned to WHUS Stores 91.7 FM. It's time for One World Radio. I'm Richard. Let me get my days straight. I've been on so many days this week. This is Wednesday afternoon edition of One World Radio. And today, a very, very special edition. We have Madooo in this station, and we'll be talking to him in just a few minutes. So we're looking forward to that. And the phone number is, as usual, 860-429-9487. We're just going to jump into the music, and we're going to start off with something from India. This is from Kiran Aluwalia, and Rob Daroop is the name of this piece here. I think that Natalie McMaster is actually on this. Check it out here on One World Radio.
restless information, trying to mess my imagination. When I'm watching my TV and a man come on to tell me how white my shirts can be, but it can't be a man 'cause it doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me. When I'm riding around the globe and I'm doing this and I'm signing that and I'm trying to make some boy. Baby, 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 come back. Can't you see I'm on a losing streak? When I'm riding around the globe and I'm doing this and I'm signing that and I'm trying and I'm trying.
Преображается природа, трубят фанфары огорода, бронятся репа без идей и помидор прелюбодей. 7 луковиц играют в прятки, морковь опять пошла на блядки. Чеснок унылый мизантроп безрадостно жует укроп. Картофель тушит огурцы, капуста плавает в янцы.
someone to love. You're the one that I'd be thinking of. If I needed someone, if I had some more time to spend, then I guess I'd be with you, my friend. If I needed someone, had you come some other day, then it might not have been like this. But you see now, I'm too much in love. Carve your number on my wall, and maybe you will get a call from me. If I needed someone, had you come some other day, then it might not have been like this. But you see now, I'm too much in love. Carve your number on my wall, and maybe you will get a call from me. If I needed someone,
This is Lolo from Bookman Experience. You are listening to One World Radio on 91.7 FM WHUS Stores. Okay? Kembela.
Ah, yes, Kambila, welcome to One World Radio, everyone. What did we just hear in that opening set? We started with Kiran Aluwalia, and she is from India, self-titled release on Triloka. Very nice record. We also heard Cat Power in there with one of the great covers of all time, Satisfaction. You might have heard that before, but what a twist of that song. Cat Power, we had a request for them a few weeks ago and finally did get them on. And we heard a track from Boris Grebenshchikov's unbelievable CD, Terrarium. It's a classic 60s psychedelia recorded sometime around 2001 in Russia. And we heard a track from that. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. We ended the first setup with If I Needed Someone. You probably recognize that song, and hopefully you even recognize that version from our man Madooo. And Madooo is in the studio. Madooo, welcome to One World Radio.
thank you for having me. It's a real thrill, and I am amazed at your wide spectrum of music, and I'm very proud to be part of it today.
Oh, great. Well, we've been playing your CD since it came out, so you've been fitting in here for a while. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
this isn't really new for us, but new for you. So, folks, in case you don't know much about Madooo, I think we'll get a little background history. And Madooo, you were born in India.
Yeah, the southern part of India, a state called Madras. Now it's called Chennai. They changed the name.
Uh-huh. And what kind of music did you listen to as a youth?
This might sound strange to you being from India. My father put me in an English-speaking school, and everything I learned was in English, and the things that I listened to was in English. So my ears kind of tilted naturally. My musical interests all tilted to the West, and Europe, and the songs of the Beatles were one of the first things that really grabbed my attention. So that was a lot of what I listened to.
Really? And then, who were some of your favorites back then?
Well, they didn't play very much of American or your English music, but Elvis Presley was on radio a lot, and Harry Belafonte, and those kind of names, and the Beatles, and a few of the early rockers also.
Okay. And then did you get to, the bands didn't play there at all?
No.
They never came. Did you get to see some film of any of the bands?
Actually, later on, when I did have the inspiration to start a band and everything, I moved to a bigger city in the north of India, Bombay, now called Mumbai. They changed all the names there. And no big bands could ever get there. And at one point, Woodstock, the documentary, was playing. And I had to go and see it over and over, would not believe, maybe 20 times.
Wow.
I mean, that was my only way of seeing these bands. And, The Who and Richie Havens and Joe Cocker. So we just wait for those segments. And it did inspire me. And that was one of the prime reasons I'm a musician today, that documentary.
Really? And so was there any particular songs that you covered from the Woodstock film?
Well, at that point, I still was not mature enough, but I used to desperately try to copy Richie Havens and Joe Cocker, and and you may hear strains of that in the music that I'm doing now.
Yeah, well, that's true, because it definitely is a blend of sounds, and you got your personal history is blended in with the history of rock and roll, kind of. So it's an interesting take.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll say it right now, and I've said it before. The Beatles, had their place in history, and I'm not into nostalgia much, and I don't play the Beatles, but I really enjoy your CD, and I play that. So I'll just say that to start. All right, so the Woodstock movie was a big influence on you, and did you, at that point, want to come to America?
Coming to America was always a dream because, like I said, I was thinking in English, and stuff I read was Dennis the Menace, Superman, the cowboys and Indian comic books and all. So I just identified so much with America, and I constantly it was in the back of my mind. And the first opportunity I got, I did come, but I tried for several years. It wasn't an easy road, but I hooked up with a band. It was quite interesting the way they heard me sing in a club, and then they said they were coming to America. So would you want to come with us? So I kind of wove my voice into one of their demos, and then when they eventually got to America, they were playing in Hawaii, and somebody said, "Where is this guy? If you need to, contract with us, you need to get him over." So that was my hook.
Okay, that's not bad. But you started a band in India.
Yes, several.
Oh, several, okay.
Yeah. The first one was Burning Ice. I went nowhere. Then and the Voodoos, that's another, that was my first band. And, that was strictly cover to the T, because the big bands never got to India, so we had to dish out whatever these records were. We had to sound just like it. So if it was an Elvis song I had to sound like Elvis. If I did a Stone song, I had to sound like Mick Jagger. And otherwise I was no good. But I think in a way it was kind of good groundwork, and I was able to grasp various influences, and it helped me a lot.
Right, so if you did Satisfaction, you were doing it to the nail. Now,
I guess imagine a mouthful of applesauce. Oh, straw paw. People think I'm crazy.
Well, wow. So you did a Mick Jagger. You actually pulled it off there. Oh, right. Well, I think we're going to have to keep talking to you about some more interesting things, but maybe we should go back and hear some more music now.
That'll be cool.
And how about another track from your CD, Madooo? This is, to the Fab Four from Liverpool, a tribute from India. Now, it's actually not from India, but in a way it is.
Yeah.
And on this record, did you have musicians playing, or did you do it all yourself?
Well, I wanted to do it live at one point, get all the musicians and go to a studio, but it wasn't possible. So I actually recorded the whole thing at home. I have my home studio, and then I get musicians to come in one by one, and I tell them what I want, and then it was like kind of a built pyramid kind of a recording where I built on the tracks but I kind of arranged all of them myself.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to hear the John Lennon tribute medley. And you have several songs in here. This is the only one that you worked as a medley. You worked in 4 different Lennon tunes. And you were telling me before that some of it was recorded right after John's passing.
Yeah, John to me was like nice, a worldly figure who had a lot of feelings for world peace and everything. So I was especially attracted to his music also, and I wanted to do a tribute to him for a long time. It was a big blow when he was shot. Obviously. I was hoping I'd meet him someday. But the day when he was shot, I was devastated. I ran a tape, and it was just commentary from, the radio personalities. And at one point, there was a gentleman who had announced things about the way it happened. And I put the tape away, and I didn't find it. Several years when I was doing this tribute, I found it. And then I wanted to weave it into the song. And I actually kept searching, calling stations. This was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and eventually I did manage to locate him through the web. So I said, "Is this the same Bob Madigan from the radio station in Pennsylvania?" And he emailed me back. He says, "Your search is ended, and you have my permission to use the track." So there it is. You'll hear. It was the following day where he talks about the sad assassination of Lennon.
All right, we're going to hear that right now here on One World Radio. Oh, sorry, folks. We're going to get that on again. Here it. Where is it? Okay, something happened here. I'm going to have to start it again. Shift to here. There we go. 12. All right, let's see. We got the wrong thing. Here we go.
Oh, our love is still special.
We have lost a man whose music
Let's
shaped an entire
take a chance and fly
John Lennon was shot and killed last
away.
night outside his apartment in New York City. Today, hundreds of fans are holding a vigil outside the apartment building where John Lennon lived and died.
People ask me questions, lost in confusion, and I tell them there's no problems, only solutions. Then they shake their heads and they look at me as if I've lost my mind. I tell them there's no hurry, I'm just sitting here doing time. And I also tell them, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Hey, fans, remember it. Paul McCartney says John Lennon is going to be missed by the entire world. Ringo Starr is headed back to the United States in mourning. And George Harrison is so upset he canceled the recording session set for today. But John is gone, gunned down last night in front of his luxury apartment building. John Lennon was 40, and that's news.
I just have to let it go. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world we live is one. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to just had to let it go, let it go. Let me hear you sing along. All we are saying, loud and clear, is give peace a chance. Keep on saying now. All we are saying, say, is give peace a chance.
Millions of fans around the world are mourning the death of John Lennon. The most poignant example may be the vigil outside the Lennon home in New York City. Hundreds of people have been gathered there since last night, stunned, and periodically singing for John. A tragic end to a man who dreamed of a world united and in harmony.
I just had to let it go. I just had to let it go.
John Lennon is dead, murdered in New York City last night.
I just had to let it go, go. You may say I'm a dreamer,
John Lennon, known as a man of peace, died on the way to the hospital.
but I'm not the only one.
A victim of a violent death.
I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
We all say goodbye to John Lennon.
Terkulai di puncak rindu, tenggelam dalam sendu. Kasihmu tak siapa bisa tanggalkan. Biar luka parah, biar jiwa lara, kasihmu yang sebati sukar ku pisah. Siapa bisa rasakan gelora cinta si Laila? Siapa gerangan kalaulah bukan Majnun? Mesti ada saksi, mesti tegak bukti, sebuah pengorbanan sebagai ganti. Lepaskan cintamu satu, azamkan cintamu satu, nazarkan cintamu satu. Kibarkan cintamu satu, laungkan cintamu satu, juangkan cintamu satu. Satu. siapa gerangan, kalaulah bukan Madooo, kalaulah bukan mesti ada saksi, mesti tegak bukti sebuah pengorbanan sebagai ganti. Lapaskan cintamu satu, azamkan cintamu satu, nazarkan cintamu satu, kibarkan cintamu satu, lautkan cintamu satu, juangkan cintamu satu, kibarkan cintamu satu, lautkan cintamu satu, juangkan cintamu satu.
Yeah, we're listening to Hugh Masekela right here on One World Radio. Brand new CD from the man from South Africa called Revival, and that piece we just heard from him called District 6. That's on Heads Up Records. We heard The Healer, something that hopefully you're familiar with, Carlos Santana and John Lee Hooker doing one of the all-time greats. We heard something from a CD I've been playing for a few years now. Ramli Sarip is the man's name. He is from Malaysia. Sayer Timur is the name of the CD, and as I said, Malaysian pop music, just an incredible thing. And we began that set with Madooo doing a John Lennon medley, and I'd like to welcome Madooo back to the air, and glad to have you here, Madooo.
Thank you very much. I'm enjoying this a lot.
All right. So we were just talking about your time in India and how you formed several bands there, and were playing traditional rock and roll. And then when did you come over here to the States?
It was in 1979.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe it. One time, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page walked into a little club that we were playing at. And it was amazing for me because, like I told you, we hadn't seen any of the big bands. And then when they were there in our presence, I had to get up and sing. I was really scared, but Robert Plant gave me a thumbs up, and then that is kind of etched in my mind forever.
You didn't do a whole lot of love or anything like that?
No, I did not try. But I think I sang Honky Tonk Woman, my version of it, but he loved it, and then that inspired me, and so made me want to be a musician more and more. So that's how I wanted to come here, and then, like you were asking me, 79 was the year.
Okay, and so where did you first land in America?
San Francisco, and then the band that I was playing with, they were based in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but we took a small little house there because we could always go back there and rehearse. But we toured about 15, 16 states, and it was a good way of seeing America, and I enjoyed it very much, and I love this country.
All right. And then when did you decide to come to New York?
It's a long story, a lot of pitfalls, but the band wasn't headed in the direction that I wanted to go to, so we would do original music or something, at least like what I'm doing now. They were very content just playing top 40 and stuff like that. So I eventually left the band, and then I had to survive, so I needed a job, and I had to rely on advertising, which I'm a designer, so I needed to come to a big city, so I decided to come to New York. Made 2 sets of resumes, one only music, one only art. If you looked at each other, you wouldn't tell I was one or the other, And I put them out. The first job I got, I took, which was related with art. So it's paid the bills. So I still need it. So I'm still working with an advertising agency, a good one called Deutsch. And the music I do more a part-time thing, but it's now picking up. So it's more on a parallel, I would say. I'm getting a band together, so we'll start performing in the city soon.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
And when you do that, are you going to play your, any originals, or are you going to do mostly the covers? Or?
I will weave originals in, but I want to support the CD that I've done, so I really like to give it as much attention as I can. And it is a little challenging to perform, but then I think some of the songs that I've picked are very exciting to do live, and the musicians will also have the freedom to really show off themselves. So also incorporate East and West dancing, and it'll be a spectacle. It'll be a good show to watch.
Yeah, that sounds like a great thing. Now, you do some mimics, and are you going to incorporate any of that in your performance?
Not at this point, but I'm, believe it or not, I'm also an Elvis impersonator.
Elvis impersonator. So here's a guy, I won't tell you what he looks like, but he doesn't look much like Elvis, but he probably does a great Elvis. What tunes did you do of Elvis?
I could do quite a bit. Blue Suede Shoes and the whole thing. Now, if you are really curious, I have a website. Can I give it a plug?
Sure can.
It's www.bigduker.com, spelled B-I-G, D as in David, 2 O's, K-E-R.
Okay.
And there's one page in there which has my impersonation of Elvis. You can actually watch the clip. I come on like an Andy Kaufman, like an Indian hermit, sitting on top of the Himalaya mountains when suddenly a strange spirit descended on my body. And then I go into this thing, I wasn't sure of myself. So I try the rope trick. which I'm familiar with. And then my lips started to rise. Oh, thank you very much. And then I'd slowly transform. I put in the Elvis glasses and everything and go, it's one for the morning, two for the show. Really get ready. Now go, cat, go.
Everybody's mouth just dropped open, I bet. That's incredible.
That's part of it, is like, copying the stars. And then I also do a Jim Morrison.
Oh, man.
There's a clip on there, too, in that page where if you go to the website, again, that's www.bigduker.com.
All right. That sounds like some fun stuff to watch. All right. Well, we are going to definitely be talking to Madooo more, and we're also going to hear more from his CD. But now I think we only have a few moments to get some reggae on, and we're going to play some reggae music.
Cool.
Do you like reggae, Madooo?
Yeah.
Okay. We got some. I got something I just picked up. It's something called "The Rare Side of Rock Steady" with Phil Pratt and friends, 66 to 68. And it's called "Safe Travel." We're going to hear the title track. This is pretty rare stuff, but man, is it nice! Right here on One World Radio. Sorry, folks. This is Willie Nelson.
To tell you that you shouldn't go, and the first to say, be happy if you can. But to lie and hurt someone who needs and loves you so. Do you mind too much if I don't understand? I suppose that you're convinced this is the thing to do. Life is short and sweet, break all the hearts you can. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, it's all a game to you. Do you mind too much if I don't understand? Forgive me, but it all seems so unreal to me. And my heart and you, we'd made so many plans. But that's all over now, there's nothing left to do. But do you mind too much if I don't understand? But it all seems so unreal to me. And my heart and me, we'd made so many plans. But that's all over now, there's nothing left to do. But do you mind too much if I don't understand? Do you mind too much if I don't understand? Tell me of a pie in the sky, waiting for me when I die. But between the day you're born and when you die, they never even seem to hear you cry. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now of what's mine. And the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. The harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. Well, the officers are trying to keep me down, trying to drive me underground. And they think that they have got the battle won. I say forgive them, Lord, they know not what they've done. 'Cause as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now of what's mine. And the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. And the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. I keep on fighting for the things I want, though I know that when you're dead you can't. But I'd rather be a free man in my grave than living as a puppet or a slave. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now of what's mine. And then the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. And the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. And the harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all.
Yes, Willie Nelson right here on WHUS Stores. One World Radio is the program. Willie Nelson's reggae record is not completely released yet. We have a pre-release in. It's called Countryman. I'll let you make up your own mind on it, but The Harder They Come is a pretty good cover there, Willie Nelson. That record is on Lost Highway. We heard the Ethiopians give us Hurry On. Ethiopians, one of the classics in reggae history. Phil Pratt, somebody who is not well known, but a great producer and instrumentalist, a singer, put out with something called Safe Travel, Rock Steady, the rare side of Rock Steady, and some late 60s stuff from Phil Pratt. And we started with another one of those Willie Nelson tunes from Countryman, Something to Think About. And that catches us up. 1 hour of One World Radio is under our belt. We still have one more to go. We've got Madooo in the station, in the studio, and we're happy to have him around. Hi, Madooo.
Thanks again.
All
I'm
right.
really enjoying your show.
Well, thanks a lot. And we are going to move into Sun Ra's Cosmic Corner. We're going to play something special for Madooo on the Cosmic Corner, but I think before we get into that, we're going to have a message, and Sun Ra's Cosmic Corner is going to begin with India in honor of Madooo here, even though this guy's more American than me, but we're going to play India on Cosmic Corner. But first, this message.
Visit the William Benton Museum this summer and view the new exhibit, Windsor